Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between World Elite's WEGIGALoner versus TyLooJim here on Antigua Shipyard. This is gonna be red versus blue. I believe this was from Stars War from China, so hopefully that will be a pretty interesting matchup here. For those of you guys who do wonder how I play and how rusty I am, I recently got demoted back to Diamond League just because I don't get to play all that much. My macro has slipped, my micro has slipped, but that's enough about me, as I'm sure you just want to hear what's going on in this game and what's going down in this matchup. Looks like TyLooJim's going to be going for that standard 9 pylon, nothing too out of the ordinary. Meanwhile, Loner going to be building a supply depot close to home in order to get better mining time, and then eventually he will be setting down the supply depot, or perhaps he will or will not do a wall-in. I'm not 100% sure just quite yet. Yes, this was taken from the Chinese servers. I do not read Chinese. My Chinese is really not that good. So anyone out there who wants to translate for us, that looks like traditional as opposed to simplified, actually. So we'll see whether or not this is from Taiwan or if this was actually from China. I'm kind of interested and curious to know about that. But then again, I don't know that much Chinese anyways, so it could very well be simplified. Now, anyways, Loner's still sitting back over here. It looks like he has gone for that 13 racks. He is not going for an early gas just quite yet, or the standard gas, so he may be trying to expand a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, we're going to see TyLooJim opening up with an assimilator and a gateway. We should be seeing a cybernetics core as well. We'll see how all of this unfolds in just a moment, as the SCVs are just going to work and we'll be able to collect a lot of minerals. And it looks like Loner is just going to expand straight after this barracks here. So a straight up expansion after the barracks here. And we'll see how all of this works out and what will go down, as we are now upgrading to an orbital command as well. We should be getting an additional command center in just a moment. And with one Marine on the ramp, it should block the scouting of this one probe, and the probe is not going to get very much information at all, unless Loner sets up his command center down over here, which would be a little bit of a mistake, as the probe should be able to spot it. And is he going to spot it? Yes, he does spot it, and that was a huge mistake by Loner. He could have controlled it, taken down the probe, made sure that his expansion was hidden the entire time. But no, now TyLooJim is going to know exactly what to do and how exactly to counter this. You see a lot of energy being saved up on the Nexus, now chrono boosting out a Stalker as well. The SCV going to be able to just get as much information as possible, as we are now going into 20 probes. I'm training up a 21st. I'm not quite sure if this is going to be a 4-gate attempt. Normally you normally stop sometime around 21, 22. Or 21 normally, as a Zealot's going to get into easy shots onto that SCV. SCV now being forced to run away once more, as the SCV continues to wander around, and now chrono boosting out a second Stalker. So it looks like he's trying to get in some very, very heavy harassment in, trying to get in a lot of damage, but I don't think it's going to really work. SCV has too much of a head start. A Stalker and a Zealot not going to be able to charge up this ramp, and looks like Loner will be able to set up a stronger economy at this stage in the game. We are going to have a little bit of a later Nexus by TyLooJim, but that, as I mentioned, is a significantly later, as a 4th Marine now jumping inside that bunker. The Zealots may simply be able to run by. No, they do not want to do any sort of run by there, getting off one shot and then backing away. The SCV trying to get away from that Stalker, and perhaps knowing, or perhaps looking to do a little bit more scouting once more, as now this Stalker going to return back. This SCV wants to see if a Nexus has been warped in, and it looks like he may be able to... Oh no, he's going a little bit too close over on that side. He is going to end up getting shot down, but TyLooJim is just walking alongside this SCV. Rather cute, as Loner now able to get this information here, and there's the smiley face. He's able to get all the scouting information he wants, just because the Stalker was escorting him back into his base, and there's that. We are going to have 4 Marines inside this bunker on the front door, 4 more Marines also backing it up. It is going to be, 3 gateways plus a robotics facility as this all gets underway, as Tylo is perhaps a little bit behind economically. We do have 3 mules in play, now transferring some probes over to the low ground as well, as the Nexus is set up properly. Marines are down over here. We are going to be transitioning into perhaps a lot more mineral play, or a lot more Marines as well. We need to see when the factory will be coming in. We should most likely also be adding on a reactor here. That is the standard Terran way of doing things, really. 3 barracks, 2 tech labs, 1 reactor, being able to train up 8 food of units about every 30 seconds. Now, refinery also coming online, getting into the engineering bay as well. Loner in a very, very safe situation, knowing that the Nexus is coming in. You can see a Stalker back over here as well. And now tech concussive shells and stim pack also being researched. We should be getting the concussive shells, or sorry, the combat shield, as the reactor now being added on, as I mentioned just moments ago. Now, Loner needs to, at some point, slow down his marine production in order to get that factory up and running, or he can do so now. There it is, the factory now being built down over here. Most likely will add a starport right underneath it as an observer able to come inside and take a look around on the inside of the space. Protoss never playing in the dark. If you are very, very good, able to just park observers inside a base, see mineral saturation, see building productions as the observer just wanders around right now. Now, you can also see that refinery, running off of 3 gas right now, so Loner should be able to set up that starport here in just a moment, adding the missile turret, but the missile turret a little bit too late now, as we are now going into the level 1 weapons upgrade. The observer just having a good time, taking a look around, seeing what's going on the inside of the space, pretty much knows exactly what his opponent's going to be doing, and in about a minute and a half, we should be having an attack come in. Starport and reactor coming in as well. We are going into a pylons back over here. Slight food advantage for Loner as he does have the stronger economy. As the SCV now looking to get another expansion up. The observer does spot this. So the observer spots this expansion now and knows that the 3rd base is coming in. And now Tylo also immediately getting an expansion of his own. But every moment this game goes longer right now. 51 SCVs versus 50 probes, plus the help of all of those mules. Loner is going to have a slightly stronger economy at this stage, but we are now going into a Twilight Council. Level 2 weapons upgrade should be started in just a bit. We are going into chrono boosting out some observers, and we could also be chrono boosting out the Forge as well. Bunker now down on the low ground. Mass Marines and Marauders down on the low ground as well. Protoss ground armor and level 1 weapons upgrade. We'll see how all of this unfolds in just a moment, as the Stalker just hanging around by this one Xel'Naga tower here. Double medevacs are out and about, as we still see this observer keeping track of the group here. Combat shield about to be completed. Level 1 armor upgrades about to be completed. But we are also going into a Dark Shrine, and TyLooJim is going to be able to use those Dark Templars pretty effectively, I believe, as the Dark Shrine, and now an SCV able to slide up and sees that the expansion is set up as well. Orbital Command now being upgraded, so both players expanding into the 3rd base at about the same time as an SCV does get taken down. Most likely by an Immortal. Nope, not by an Immortal, by a Sentry. Factory now floating into the main base here. Gonna take a look around. Stalkers will be able to shoot down this factory in just a moment. TyLooJim should be very aware of it. There it is. And now the factory already being pushed away. The factory down to 900 hit points. May get into the 800 range, but will not be in trouble of burning down, as a medevac now gonna go ahead and try to drop. There you go. There's a Marauder. There's some Marines. Both sides dropping, and now the Marines are going to go ahead and stim and go straight into the mineral line here. Not quite sure where all those Stalkers went, as the Marines are now battling it out against more Stalkers. More Marines going to engage against some of those Zealots as well. One Zealot will get taken down, as another Zealot looks like it will continue to fight. And now a main fight, and wow, what an engagement here at the front door. The scanner sweep quickly taking down the observer. In comes a Guardian Shield and Force Fields. The Force Fields do overlap just a little bit, but it is doing a great job splitting up this army, and half of Loner's army is unable to engage right now, even after using stim. TyLooJim really using a lot of those force fields. Not much energy left on those sentries, as the sentries decide to finally back off. Only 3 sentries left there, but taking a look at the harvester count, 64 compared to 57 now. It looks like Tylo is still training up more and more units, as all of these units are retreating. No one really edging out in that particular battle. Terran did lose a little bit more in overall resources, but no harvesters were lost. So that is important, as both players are going to try to rebuild their army, and Loner is going to have a slight advantage as he is sitting on 69, 70 SCVs compared to 62 probes. Now, at this point, I would assume Loner is going to build a command center here. Wow. I swear I haven't seen this. I was going to say build a command center here, but this place works as well. But in come the Dark Templars. Dark Templars now going to make their way in and get some easy kills, going after the mules, going after SCVs. And this is going to be huge as the Marauders and the Marines are now making their way up. Only mules have been destroyed, pretty much. One SCV, that is it. As there is not much really going on. There is back over here. Dark Templar still trying to get in more damage. Where is it going to hit? SCV quickly taken down there, as there are currently no scanner sweeps available. And there is the Dark Templar attempting to run away. Is it going to be able to run away? No, just within sight of that scanner sweep, and down it goes. Warp gates, able to warp in everything except for High Templars right now. We are going into level 3 weapons upgrade and a robotics base, so nice gambit, or is it gambit or gamut? You know what I mean. Anyways, a nice array, or a very, just making sure to be able to get into High Templars, and also go into the robotics base, so he can go into Dark Templars for the Archons, excuse me, in order to deal with the bio, or he can try to go into those robotics facility and into Vikings. Right now, there are no Vikings in production to counter the Colossi. One step ahead of myself once more. I apologize. And as the Marines and the Marauders move out, so there are currently 3 Ghosts in this group. The Ghost going to get those EMP shockwaves, but the robotics bay may not be done in time. Extended thermal lance range is going to be still quite a ways away. Level 3 weapons upgrade now coming in as the probe quickly getting taken down. And now Marines and Marauders attempting to take down this set of destructible rocks over here. It gets taken down, but now in comes an engagement. Guardian Shield, there's some force fields. EMP shockwave hitting. Stalker is able to blink away. More EMP shockwaves, another hitting there as well. Tylo losing a lot of his shields, but the force fields and the Immortals in the back still have plenty of shields. And will it be enough, though, as more Marines and Marauders now bringing in the rear once again, and now getting reinforcements? The poor Immortals trying to run away will not be able to do so. Quickly going to get taken down as Loner, even though he had to deal with force fields, was able to slightly come out ahead in this battle. Now sitting at almost double the food count as he is still training units back at home. The timing on this attack was absolutely perfect, knowing that there was going to be not going to be any Colossi. Snipe quickly cast on some of those Zealots there, as the Marines are going to take down this Nexus. And there is the GG TyLooJim losing game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.